It's the injury picked up by Finnerty as he was contesting that ball over there with Tony O'Sullivan. And down he came rather awkwardly. It was an accidental challenge.
This seen more clearly than in sport.
Yes, I can't help but agree with that, Ron. And first up, we're going to wrap up the magic moments of, yes, the past 35 years. And won't this cause a few arguments?
Might be good to be out of town for a couple of days, Max. But we've chosen the ones that we remember best. The special deeds. The times when the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
Absolutely unforgettable. And for me, Ron, I think two of the most magical moments took place in my favourite Coliseum, the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The first was the 1977 Centenary Test, a wonderful match, a ton by wicketkeeper Rodney Marsh.
And now a betting record for Australia. The first man in history, an Australian keeper, to get a century in a Test, and he's done it in the Centenary.
A courageous and inspiring fight back by Rick McCosker.
Looks as though he's got a nasty cut there. Seems as though he's spitting out some blood. And
here's McCosker swathed in bandages with March approaching his century.
And finally, the greatest gladiator of them all, D.K. Lilly.
Greg Chappell's got it. That is the record. The wicket-taking Test match record. Larry Gomes put Greg Chappell, bowled Dennis Lilly to give Lilly 310 wickets in Test match cricket. Holds the record now. And what a great performance from a great fast bowler.
Yes, what a competitor was D.K. Lilly. But I also remember another legendary deed from that same great stadium. The turning point in the 1970 VFL Grand Final. Carlton's Alex Jesaulenko inspiring his teammates and a television audience of millions with this colossal mark.
Okay, to the wing position on the member stand side. Oh, Jesaulenko, you beauty! Good Lord. Alex Jesaulenko.
In rugby league, television has played a key role in the emergence of the game's fiercest conflict, the state of origin battles. And the king, Wally Lewis, personifies modern-day rugby league. Whether it's club games or test matches, he's been battered and bloodied, but he's rarely beaten.
But here's Wally Lewis with a stolen ball now. Lewis makes his way upfield. He's got some pace. Lewis, can he go all the way? Still down, he does go. Wally Lewis has gone in, and look at this. Wow. We've said it before. This fellow is so incredibly strong.
Now, Max and I are divided over the next point. Picking a magic moment in tennis.
Very tough ask, that one, Ron. I suppose it's no wonder we've had so many. I always go back to the beauty and grace of 19-year-old Yvonne Goolagong when she first won Wimbledon. She was truly a natural champion, but for the sheer joy of victory, you can't go past Pat Cash's excitement of winning Wimbledon in '87.
And he's so excited, he's running up into the stands, hugging his dad.
Sister and uncle behind him. And Coach Ian Barclay, who's coached him since he was 11.
But if Cashy's mood was one of exhilaration, remember the look on John McEnroe's face when he was kicked out of the 1990 Australian Open.
Code violation, verbal abuse. Default, Mr. McEnroe.
Whoa!
Game, set, match, point force.
That's the end of the match. The crowd are stunned. They can't believe it.
And talking of blokes being thrown out, for many reasons, the 100 metres at Seoul will be remembered as the most dramatic race of our time. It was the clash between two supermen, Carl Lewis and Ben Johnson. And though the real story came in the days afterwards, the pictures and the contest were monumental.
Away, Johnson a great start, Lewis not too bad, Stewart away well, Johnson in front, Lewis coming at him, Johnson's got a great lead, he's going to win, Ben wins, Johnson, and the time is 9:79. If it's legal, he's broken the world record.
One of my fondest memories is of 1983, when at Channel 7 we replaced the Sunday night movie with live coverage of the marathon from the World Athletic Championships in Helsinki. And the sight of our own Rob D. Costello not only winning that world title, but being weighed down by that huge wreath is one I'll treasure.
The
world champion crosses the line in a time of 2:10.
Now in swimming, we've had so many magic moments, from Dawn Fraser to Michael Wendon to Hayley Lewis, but the one that sticks in my memory is nearly 20 years ago now at Munich in 1972, and the sight of teenager Shane Gould.
It's Shane Gould of Australia, and he's won it! A magnificent performance, it's a world record, and there she is probably the greatest freestyle swimmer we've ever seen.
Shane Gould, a wonderful champion. And hasn't the turf produced some great champions, from Tulloch to Kingston Town to Kiwi? But for a truly magic moment, I've never seen a race like the 1986 WS Cox Plate. It had been built up as a showdown between the mighty horses, our Waverley Star, and the Kiwi Bone Crusher.
Our Waverley Star getting the Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher and our Waverley Star, they hit the line. Bone Crusher.
Well, those two champions have certainly hauled some big weights, but nothing as massive as the giant tuna fisherman from South Australia, Dean Lucan. Remember his gold medal lift in the super heavyweight division of the 1984 Olympics?
Yes, he can. Tremendous effort.
Or has he? Let's
Yes,
wait on
he's
it.
got it.
Let's wait and see.
There
He's got
it is.
2 right sides. It's a gold medal to Dean Lucan of Australia.
What a tremendous effort.
In boxing, I guess I was an eyewitness to history. Being there when Lionel Rose, Johnny Famechon won their world titles made me realise just how hard they'd worked for their victories. But for performances both inside and outside the ring, one man stood apart from everyone else. The boxer who could float like a butterfly and talk like a machine.
I am the greatest.
Yes, in my opinion, he really was the greatest. But as Greg Norman can testify, the greatest player doesn't always win the match. He's been robbed by two absolute knockouts. First, when Bob Tway chipped in for the 1986 PGA. And then Larry Mize did it again in the 87 Masters.
How's that look?
Our magic moments, of course, wouldn't be complete without saluting the showman of sport. And in the history of Australian television, who could forget the hijinks of Ringside with the Wrestlers and the roller game, as called by the inimitable Jack Little.
Dick the Bulldog Brower, he is literally gone berserk.
You bum, you! You suckered me in that ring when I wasn't watching you, Cox, and you picked me up. And you hurt my neck, Cox! You hurt my neck!
In which to pick up points, and the time running down as the Thunderbirds block the path, but right through the middle there. A clever play by Barbara O'Leary. Barbara O'Leary assisted through there. A reverse whip of Dan Bellow. Now she sets out after the one remaining, or the lone remaining Thunderbird defender.
No one knows how far sport will progress in the next 35 years.
Importance. Weight for age, Flemington and 2,000 metres is the perfect mix to attract the finest thorough.